This is HorseGirl TV, and I'm Angelea Kelly. Today we're at Stübben, North America to find out why Stübben is one of the world's premier saddle makers. We're here today with Jim Ehrmann. Jim, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having us, and thanks for visiting us.
This is an amazing place. We have to get some fabulous footage of the inside of this building.
We love it here. Everybody we bring here loves it.
It's pretty special. It's well known that Stübben is a world premier saddle maker. What would you say that Stübben does or has to stand apart from the rest?
I think there's probably three things that make us separate from everybody else. The first is the tree that our saddle is built on. It's a spring tree. It's designed that when it's put on the horse properly, the most comfort comes to the horse and the best communication between the horse and rider can be achieved.
Okay.
The second thing that sets us apart from others is that the majority of our saddle is man-made, not machine-made.
Okay.
We've been around since 1894. Still making saddles by hand.
Long time.
Long time.
Okay.
And the third thing probably that sets us apart is the resale value of our saddles.
Okay.
They hold their value for a long time, and the saddle itself lasts a long time because of the quality components we use.
So it's a saddle you can have, you can give to your kids, and maybe even your kids' kids.
Most definitely.
Okay.
We definitely have grandchildren riding in Rexes from the 1960s.
Holy cow. Wow. You mentioned everything is handcrafted, or most everything is handcrafted. How long does it take from start to finish to actually craft a Stübben saddle?
Because of the volume of work we do, and because we don't make one saddle at a time, normally we can have a saddle special ordered, custom made for a customer, have it ordered here in the States and delivered to the States within 8 weeks.
Wow.
If we were to take one saddle and go through all the steps it takes to make the saddle, probably be made in about 4 days.
Holy cow! So, but still, 8 weeks custom saddle.
Right.
You know, you're looking at 6 months when you talk to a lot of people. So that's pretty impressive.
Yes, ma'am.
Say I've never ridden before. I don't know what size I ride. How can I tell as a rider what size saddle I need to sit in?
The biggest thing in our saddle is that you get a saddle big enough in the seat to allow your seat bones to get down in the deepest part of the seat for communication to the horse.
Okay.
Many riders today ride in saddles that are too small, puts them not in the proper position in the saddle.
Too far forward?
Too far forward or too far back, or they're pushing themselves back off their stirrup irons because they don't feel comfortable in the saddle. So the seat size is number one. And secondly, you obviously need to get a saddle that has a flap that conforms to the way you're going to wear your stirrup irons.
Okay.
So if your stirrup leathers are going to be long in a dressage position, we need a flap that's straighter and fits the leg.
Okay.
If we're going to be in a jumping position and an angled leg, we need a flap that's more forward.
Okay. And then I know that this is a huge thing, and we spent a lot of time today out at the European performance horses. But essentially, how do you fit the saddle to the horse? How do I know if I have a saddle, if it's hurting my horse apart from the fact that he's all, you know, squirrely? What's the basic thing I can look at to say, okay, this fits pretty well, apart from having a professional come out?
With a Stübben saddle, it's designed for the pommel to be 1 inch lower than the cantle. When the saddle is on the horse's back, with the points behind the scapula or shoulder, and enough clearance over the withers under the pommel, so that we don't hurt the horse's back. We protect the horse's withers.
Too far on.
Correct.
Okay.
We want, when it's 1 inch lower in the front than the back, you're in the deepest part of the seat as a rider, and the spring tree that we developed works to shock absorb a lot of your weight and to distribute your weight evenly all along the horse's back.
Okay.
That's the biggest combination of things when fitting our saddle to a horse.
So it's not necessarily an exact science, but there is a lot of components you can look at.
Correct, and we make 7 different tree widths for fitting the horse and 6 different seat sizes for fitting the rider. So in those 42 combinations, we can just about cover
everything.
Every horse and every rider.
All the combinations that you can put a Stübben together, how many did you say?
The last time we took count, it was over 400,000.
Different combinations to
Yes.
create?
Different models, different color leathers, different seat depths, different tree widths, different seat sizes.
So if you can't find it in a Stübben, you probably can't find it.
That's our thought process, yes ma'am.
Every episode we have HorseGirl Mail, and this episode Justin from New Mexico writes in and says, "Hey HorseGirl, I've always wondered, are the colors of leather tack for fashion or is there a function behind it? Thanks in advance, Justin."
In some cases, the color leather does make a difference. Most dressage riders want black. We have the occasional dressage rider that will go in a very dark brown saddle, but you mainly see black in the dressage world, and that's commonly accepted as a dressage color.
Okay.
In the hunter world, it's more of a brown color.
Like the Havana?
Our Havana brown, other people have different names for it. All manufacturers have different colors for their leather, but yes, basically the brown leathers.
Don't forget to send your questions to mail@horsegirltv.com, and you could be featured on a future episode.
I know there's 1,000 questions I could ask you about saddles, but I just kind of wanted to cover the basic. And I appreciate you coming on the show and let me come here. This is pretty fabulous.
We appreciate you taking the time to visit us, allowing us to be on your show, and we wish you continued good success.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Well, this has been just a glimpse of Stübben, North America. I'm Angelea Kelly. Thanks for stopping by. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh my goodness, it's Piccolo at Stübben.